Here's Big Daddy, covered by Monroe. Here's Insanity, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. Jared Bayless is checked in for Milwaukee. The Bulls leading by 15. Here's Big Daddy. He's got 18. To the right side. McDermott with it. Now defended by Carter Williams. Clock at 4. Here's Big Daddy. That three off the mark.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
The shot misses. 4. For Chicago, they've gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. Here's Big Daddy. He's got 14. And the Bulls with another miss. 1:25 left in the third.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Big Daddy. And again, no good by Chicago. Bucks trail by 13. Got a piece of it. Here's Big Daddy. 51 seconds left to play here in the third, and he gets it to go. Big Daddy's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's Insanity. He's got 36.
Well, I tell you, that was double duty right there. He influenced the shot and then got back and cleaned the glass.
And the official signaled a backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
The turnover difference hasn't been in their favor, but you know what? It hasn't really slowed them down too much. I like the fact they're staying aggressive here.
The Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. The Bucks also changing it up. Plumlee, he's checked in for Monroe. And Parker's subbed in for Henson. Here's Big Daddy. He's got 22. Bangs home the trifecta. Big Daddy's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Man, they came out smoking here from beyond.
And Greg, as hot as they are from out there, absolutely no reason at all not to just keep letting them fly.
Bucks ball.
Hey.
Your Bulls. Each one more.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Chicago with the ball. The big men are Gibson and Noah. Big Daddy is out there with Etuan Moore, and it's Mirotic in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. The second chance effort, good on the jump shot. Mirotic has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Bulls. And now we've got the intentional foul. Big Daddy's checked in for Etuan Moore. Here's Insanity. Stolen by Noah. Here's Big Daddy to the left wing. Big Daddy, an absolute bomb from three-point range. And the Bulls lead by 21. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Chicago.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. Big Daddy's checked in for Chicago.
That's his first personal foul.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. No good on the quick three. The Bulls leading by 21. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
That's his first personal
And, you know, the Bucks took a nice step by making it to the playoffs last season, but their ultimate goal is to win the division. They'll need to play better against the rest of the division in order to do that.
Greg, as you said, last year the Bucks didn't have the easy time against the rest of the Central Division. They only went 7-11 against them.
And listen, anytime you have powerhouse teams in your division, every game means that much more. Not only for winning the division, but just staying in the playoff picture. It's only going to get tougher this season as well.
A different look for Milwaukee. John Henson's checked in for Monroe. Damian Inglis comes in for Carter Williams. And it's Mayo in for Chris Middleton.
He is just self-willing, his team right now, doing everything he can to keep them alive.
Here's Big Daddy, and he makes good on the layup. Big Daddy's got 16 points here in the second half.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Mirotic grabs the miss.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough. But that's how you win games. All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep. And maybe, you know, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off. The threes. And it's all one-way traffic tonight, boy. They have been lights. Out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Insanity. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. The Insanity's got 45 points.
Despite the play of the team, I think he's had an outstanding game. He's really done well here.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Ahead. Knocked loose. There's Big Daddy. Feeds to Mirotic. No one near him. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Here's Insanity. And so they foul intentionally. Chicago making some changes. Portis, he's checked in. for Gibson. Each one more comes in for Big Daddy, and it's Brooks in for Big Daddy. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Milwaukee. Bayless comes in for Insanity.
For Bayless, it was his 6th team in 7 years last season. A good utility combo guard to have. He can score, he can make plays for others. He's really defined his role in this league.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Big Daddy comes in for each one more. And Big Daddy subbed in for Brooks. Big Daddy. Oh! Boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throw down there. He is one guy you do not stand in the way of when he decides to attack the rim.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're losing by 27. There's a minute 34 left to play in the final quarter.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Insanity, he's checked in for Jared Bayless. There's a minute 34 left in the fourth quarter.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score them all, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to... step up.
As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run the season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Chicago.
But, Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to him.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Big Daddy. He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
Plumlee with the steal. Here's the break, and here we go. Finished off the break. The Insanity's got 51.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Big Daddy, and it's sent back by Plumlee. Pushing it up. Henson the pass to Insanity. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Portis. Look at that. Shot! How did that go in?
How about that?
Oh!
Out of bounds.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Coming onto the floor for your Bulls, Joakim Noah. Each one more.
Brooks.
Aaron Brooks.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah.